2018 Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo Review. The good points of Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo. Glitziest luxury camper van yet. Beautifully crafted camping gear. Undaunting drive and automobile day to day. Double bed very comfortable. The bad points of Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo. Up to 5 seats but only 4 beds. Much pricier than VW California. Sliding door on wrong side for RHD. This chrome-laden camper van will be the Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo. It's depending on the V-Class MPV, an auto that's essentially a plush version of Mercedes Vito van. While previous iterations with the Marco Polo are already sold around the continent for many years, they have never made it for the UK in right-hand drive, so far. For 2017, Mercedes relented and launched the V-Class Marco Polo in Britain, meant to compete using the Volkswagen California. They're the sole 2-factory-fit camper vans made in-house by mainstream car makers. All the campers in the marketplace are made by third-party conversion specialists. Mercedes Marco Polo, the product range choice. Choose from 2 different types in the UK, both accessible in 2 trim levels. V220D Sport or AMG line. V250D Sport or AMG line. Both models utilize the same 2.1-liter 4-cylinder turbodiesel engine, familiar from generations of Mercedes-Benz road cars. The lustier V250D model offers 190 horsepower of power and 440 Nm of torque. The entry-level V220D a modest 163 horsepower and 380 Nm. Because that is a leisure vehicle where outright performance is a lesser priority, we'd happily recommend either derivative. However, in the event you often tow, travel in hilly areas or carry heavy loads, we'd upgrade for the V250D. Just look for punchy prices, which start at well north of £50,000. Make no mistake, this can be noticeably more costly than the VW California competition. What does long mean inside badge? Good question. The full name from the Marco Polo models include the V220D Long and V250D Long. This refers towards the length in the body. The V-Class MPV, on which the camper is predicated, is accessible with a range of 3 lengths, and this also vehicle uses the center version confusingly called Long. It's consequently very roomy, with lots of room to be used as a day-to-day people carrier, or at weekends gets hot or converts easily in a mobile home. The Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo's party trick is its glamping transformation. Park up, press control button and the roof raises electrically, to make extra headroom inside the passenger compartment so you're able to stand up while cooking with the fitted kitchenette. When night falls, pull a lever plus a separate base pulls down on the ceiling to generate a rooftop double bedroom. The rear seats fold flat to convert in a second double bed down the page, creating this a viable 4-berth home from home. Note that greater comfortable bed for grown-ups comes to an end above, where you'll reap the benefits of a super flat mattress with clever springs for more padding. How does the Marco Polo drive? For this kind of big vehicle it stretches in order to 5.1 meters long. The Marco Polo is remarkably simple to watch along British roads. All versions come that has a 7-speed automatic gearbox and satisfaction is adequate for keeping up at motorway speeds. There are some creaks and groans over crashy road surfaces. These are no worse compared with any other commercial or camper van we've driven. Also it rides reasonably well for a real big vehicle. Happily, a reversing camera is standard, rendering it a cinch to park up. The verdict. The Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo is usually a highly luxurious camper van that's deeply desirable. The thoughtfulness on the conversion is impressive, plus a family of 4 can be really comfy living on board during their visit. As a camper van, it's peerless, with quality that simply shades the Awachi impressive VW California, its inevitable rival. Only steep costs hold it back. The Mercedes has punchy pricing to complement its lofty market positioning. Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo review to find out how Merc's new camper van stacks up. Choose from 2 diesel options. Performance adequate for the majority of needs. Easily keeps with motorway traffic. Choosing which Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo is the best for you is reassuringly easy. There are only 2 models sold from the UK, both 2.1-liter 4-cylinder diesels, tuned a variety of power outputs. Diesel-only Marco Polo lineup. The V220D could be the entry-level model, as well as its 163 horsepower and 380 Nm of pulling power bring adequate performance. It's well judged with the type of vehicle, delivering 0.62 miles per hour in 12.3 seconds along with a somewhat academic top speed of 120 miles per hour. Step up to your V250D for any slightly more muscular 190 horsepower of power and 440 Nm of torque. This is usually a heavy vehicle weighing some 2.5 tons, and so the extra brawn helps achieve benchmark performance figures of 9.8 seconds for your 0.62 miles per hour sprint and 124 miles per hour flat-out. Automatic-only transmission. All Marco Polos are rear-wheel drive and are available with the familiar Mercedes-Benz 7-speed automatic gearbox, which blurs gear changes seamlessly. The transmission really suits the class's laid-back vibe and in most cases has the right cog in place in the right time. One nice feature we enjoyed was the familiar Mercedes hill hold feature. Depress the brake pedal fully, plus the vehicle is going to be held stationary, handy for red lights and temporary pauses once you would like to engage park or apply the parking brake. Rides and handles okay for any camper. Not the smoothest ride comfort. Car drivers won't feel intimidated. The Marco Polo is usually a remarkably unintimidating vehicle they are driving, even should you've only ever driven standard passenger cars. It is very long, at 5.1 meters, and not dauntingly so. That's no more than an S-Class wearing the 3-pointed badge, by way of example. With bluff, upright sides as well as a clear view ahead, visibility will be remarkably good in the driver's seat, although it's a waste the front quarter-light windows through the door mirrors are incredibly tiny and ineffective. Mercedes fits active parking assist with rear view camera as standard to guide you into auto parking spaces. How does the Marco Polo handle? The Marco Polo betrays its van-based roots often. Ride comfort, the opportunity to steamroller out bumps inside the road and general refinement aren't a patch for the best family cars. But that's perhaps an unfair comparison to generate. This is often a 2.5-ton RV on wheels, don't forget, and another based using a Vito commercial vehicle. It's going to push differently from an A-Class hatchback or Class saloon. It doesn't ride badly, but there are many shakes and shudders compared to a regular passenger car. It's using a par which consists of key rival, the VW California. The steering is nice enough, helping you to hustle the Marco Polo along a back road with many gusto. And it's very at home over a motorway cruise. Lovely cabin reeks of quality. Good ergonomics. An easy task to use. Some very good class materials. The cabin on the V-Class Marco Polo is often a costly location to be. The quality on the dashboard is one kind of its ace cards. It's essentially a carbon copy with the layout used across much on the company's class range. Materials are first-rate and you're reminded of the constantly when you clasp the typical leather tire. We loved the cool, sophisticated round air vents and multimedia system, which utilizes a tablet-style display mounted atop the dashboard to perform all music, navigation and trip computer functions. You'll quickly ignore the V-Class's commercial vehicle origins with this feel-good cabin, trust us. The seats adjust easily enough to get a decent driving position, and it also is very simple to see out with the Marco Polo. The leader adjusts for rake and reach. The only feature we found annoying was the rather tacky, aftermarket CP operating the lifting roof. It looks just like the afterthought that it's a comfortable family chariot by day. Comes into its own around the campsite. Ride, handling betray van routes. The cabin on the Mercedes-Benz Marco Polo is usually a costly location to be. Both front seats are captain's armchairs, meaning they could swivel 180 degrees to produce an impromptu place of work for meetings or picnics. They're comfy and have absolutely adjustable armrests for additional support on long journeys. One area that lets the Mercedes down could be the number of rear seats available. The VW California may be optionally equipped using a third row of seats, turning it in a full 7-seater while you lose the wardrobe and cooking area to be a result. The Marco Polo comes which has a 2-seat rear bench as standard. You are able to spec one more captain's chair that slots into your loading rails that run the length of the cabin, but even that only allows seating for 5. Remember this in case you want to cruise camper van like a family bus in the week. Marco Polo refinement. Mercedes Marco Polo refinement is reasonable, while using diesel engines rarely audible once at cruising speed. There is rather a lot of wind noise, but that's inevitable with this type of big, squared-off camper van, and it also is primarily because from the parts added with the conversion. But within the whole, this is the quiet, comfy destination to while away long family trips away. The kids will love the spine table that might be erected to use a work or play bench. Good kid levels even on base model. Camping machines are standard fit. Good connectivity on every Marco Polo. The Mercedes-Benz Marco Polo comes using a generous roster of IT technology as standard fit without need to pay for extras. However, in the event you want to personalize your camper van, there is really a long list of optional extras and accessories to tailor you by. Note the wind-out awning, and that is almost compulsory using a vehicle with this type, is undoubtedly an optional extra. It is very likely you'll need to spec this so that you can provide shelter if you're cooking and eating. Standard Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo equipment. Sport trim. Every model comes with all the following standard equipment from making it a comfy camper: built-in kitchenette, hob oven, fridge, wardrobe, electrically powered pop-up roof as well as double beds. Further comfort is brought through the standard fit yacht-style wooden flooring, a conveyable camping table and 2 deck chairs, which stow within the boot. Creature comforts on all Marco Polos include 3-zone climate control, tinted rear windows for privacy, 18-inch alloy wheels, Garmin sat-nav, leather upholstery and parking cameras. The sliding side door is electrically operated on all models. That's what you can get for paying top dollar inside the first place. AMG line. Pay an additional £2,140 and you may step around AMG line, which adds a smattering of fashionable posing features: 19-inch alloy wheels, sports suspension, metallic paint, an AMG rear lip spoiler as well as a rather enticing carbon-effect dashboard finish. Optional Mercedes-Benz V-Class Marco Polo extras. Lane Tracking Package. New buyers can choose the Lane Tracking Pack, which adds blind spot assist and lane keeping assist, to nudge your vehicle back into lane on motorways. Be warned how the lane keep assist buzzes annoyingly in case you wander from your lane. We had been so irked, we finished up turning it. Driving Assistance Package. For an additional premium, you may further upgrade the Marco Polo with Distronic Plus Adaptive Cruise Control, Blind Spot Assist to warn of traffic lurking inside your mirror's blind spot, Pre-Safe Preparing the Auto for a direct effect, and Lane Keeping Assist to make suggestions between the white lanes in the event that you're wandering. Other popular upgrades include metallic paint, the Command Online Multimedia System, a 360-degree parking camera package, an added individual seat inside middle row, an effective side awning and auxiliary heating to warm the cabin on chilly nights. All models get 6 airbags as standard. Marco Polo can tell in the adventure drowsy. Top 5-star rating by Euro NCAP. Although the Marco Polo is reliant on an advertisement vehicle, it comes with lots of safety equipment as standard to maintain you and your family resistant to harm. There is often a slew of technology to avoid you having an accident within the first place, and many reassuring features to hold you safe if the worst should happen. Every model is sold with Attention Assist to determine if the driver is behaving in the fashion in line with being dozy, as well as the Side Wind Assist system will automatically counter strong gusts for making sure it tracks straight and true even during high winds. There are also gadgets to check tire pressure and DSP stability control quells earlier signs of skids to stop you sliding off the road in slippery conditions. If you have an impact, every seat is included with 3-point seatbelts as standard, while front seat passengers will probably be protected by front and side airbags to minimize injury inside an accident. The V-Class Marco Polo won an extraordinary 5-star rating in an independent crash test by Euro NCAP, with extremely high scores for adult and child protection. Mercedes-Benz has one in the best reputations for safety technology inside world. Our judgment is that is a very safe vehicle of the company's type. It's unfortunate the main sliding door is about the right-hand flank. It deposits your passengers into the traffic within the UK, which can be a questionable hazard. This can be obviously easy in left-hand drive markets, for instance Germany, the location where the Marco Polo originated. How many ICE-fix baby car seats can I fit inside a Mercedes Marco Polo camper van? There are 2 ICE-fix attachments for the rear bench to clamp the automobile seats of your respective nearest, smallest and dearest in complete safety. If you order the optional 5th individual seat, that too includes an ICE-fix attachment for the next child seat. A huge boot, large passenger compartment. Only 4 seats as standard, or 5 as option. Packaging trails VW California's in small details. The Marco Polo is predictably huge inside. While Top Pro offers generous space, it's within the middle of the place that the bulk of room is. It's huge in here. Passengers within the rear row is going to be treated to acres of room where you can stretch out. However, it can be worth noting that Mercedes only delivers the Marco Polo that has a single rear bench seat, offering 2 pews. It's a waste that a vehicle this big only incorporates 4 seats as standard. You can, however, elect to order yet another rear seat, which clips in the sliding floor rails, to create a 5th berth. This is usually inexpensive and mucks around while using layout with the interior somewhat. The boot is predictably huge at 670 liters, nevertheless the space is split in 2 from the rear bench bed. You can store luggage above and below it, but remember which the two standard deck chairs gobble up valuable load space. The VW California rival cleverly stows these from the, admittedly heavy, tailgate. Campers need lashings of storage space as well as the Marco Polo delivers within spades. You will find cupboards and cubbies through the entire cabin, with plenty space to hold the clobber of camping life. The largest receptacles are under the back bench in a very drawer, plus the built-in cupboard with the back and also the very well-arranged units beneath the cooker. A special mention towards the quality on the storage items. They can be beautifully made along with a notch over the eye-watching impressive units within the Volkswagen California. The way that lids close and drawers slide would shame many an upmarket home kitchen. Although it shrinks around you if you drive it for the open road, the Marco Polo is often a large vehicle. It is unlikely to integrate any even so the biggest home garages, since its key dimensions attest. Parking is created substantially easier because of the standard fitment of an reversing camera. You can upgrade this with a 360-degree surround view camera being an optional extra should you regularly park in crowded spaces. The boot inside the Mercedes-Benz Marco Polo should gobble up your complete luggage without a lot of problem. It feels greater than its 670-liter capacity suggests, and you are able to slide the trunk bench further forwards to boost the boot space dramatically. Plus you've lots of extra cubby holes, drawers and cupboards to support even more within your luggage and camping essentials. This is one from the most practical cars imaginable and that we doubt you'll trouble its low lugging skills, even for just a long family week away.